I'm confident as far as the vaccine is concerned that it is safe. So from that perspective, I think we're doing a really good job as far as getting our country vaccinated. I think the Pfizer vaccine is a safe one to have, and I think everyone who has been vaccinated, I would like to congratulate you and say you've done a great job.
Kia ora, welcome to a special COVID Delta edition of Dealing Hope. My name is Eddie Tupai, and I'm the lead pastor for the Seventh-day Adventist Church across Pitcairn Island, French Polynesia, New Caledonia, Wallis and Futuna, and the Cook Islands, and finally, and not least, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Thank you for your time today. I have invited Pastor Mike Sakuri, the General Secretary for the Seventh-day Adventist Church across the South Pacific, and also the Health Director for the New Zealand Pacific region, Adriel Carrasco, to join me today to make statements regarding the COVID Delta situation. Whaftai mo lau teimi, thank you for your time. Pastor Mike and Adriel, thank you very much for your time. Pastor Mike, in your role as General Secretary for the Church in the South Pacific, and also noting how in the media they've been able to use your image to encourage New Zealanders to do what is right at this time. It would be great to hear from you as to your thoughts regarding the current COVID Delta situation that we're experiencing, not only in New Zealand, but right across the world.
Yeah, talofa Pastor Eddie and Adriel as well. I just like us to realize the seriousness of the situation we've found ourselves in. We're dealing with a virus that we cannot see. When we cannot see something, it's a bit difficult to track. And sometimes when we read about, the impact in some far distant place, but we cannot put a face to it. We don't know the people. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. For me, I think that we here in New Zealand are actually very fortunate in many ways. Back home where my family have come from, the situation is quite different, actually very challenging. Lots of family and people we actually know have lost jobs.
And where is home?
And I remember, yes, my family and I come from Fiji, and there's a little island there called Rotuma. And, two recent conversations with family back home have been quite touching. I remember talking to a close family member where, they had contracted COVID. The father, the whole family, all the children, and just listening to them firsthand, how it impacted them, how it affected them. And then a few days later, talking to the same person whose dad had passed away, and how they had to navigate going through the final rites in a very different and foreign way, especially for us who are very communal. And also came across another story where, again, some distant relatives, both husband and wife, father and mother, passed away and left behind children some of whom are still in primary school and still in high school. So, it's really quite serious what we are going through. It's affecting people right here in our backyard. And my appeal to our folk is that we do the right thing, that we follow the measures that are in place with, putting on the masks. And those measures are designed to safeguard us so that we can help curb this situation we find ourselves in. And for those of us who are, having second thoughts about the vaccination, my family and I have actually all been vaccinated, and we sought right counsel, and there's a lot of good counsel out there that just adds another layer of protection for us and our families.
Thank you so much, Pastor Mike. Whakalawhalahi to Adriel.
Thank
You, and please share with us your thoughts of the situation we're in.
Yeah, so kia ora, bonjour, and kia ora. Thank you for having me on today. Thoughts about the situation? I'm going to have to say I feel positive about what we're doing at the moment. And I would like to really highlight the great work that so many people are doing. I think, you know, whether you are a Labour supporter or not, I think the New Zealand government has done a very good job. I think the information that we have is sound. I think there's a good deal of research that has gone into everything. We need to understand, if I can just focus on New Zealand, we need to understand in New Zealand that we are not like other countries. We don't have as much influence on what we do as far as our health within our health situation within our organizations. We don't have as much influence from big pharmaceutical companies. We have got things in place, which means that the information, the medication that we get has been well researched by MedSafe, by Pharmac. And so I can honestly say that I am confident as far as the vaccine is concerned that it is safe. So from that perspective, I think we're doing a really good job as far as getting our country vaccinated. I think the Pfizer vaccine is a safe one to have. And I think everyone who has been vaccinated, I would like to congratulate you and say you've done a great job. For myself, having really good information is key. Being the health director for our union, I need to need to understand what is happening out there in the community. I need to be able to research things. So what I found is that the research is quite sound. There are people out there, even if you don't understand what is happening, you can turn to. The Ministry of Health has wonderful websites. There are other non-government organisations that have websites that you can turn to and find really key, very good information. I'd like to congratulate our Pacifica. I think our Ministry of Pacific Peoples has done a wonderful job in supporting this campaign and the Unite Against COVID response for New Zealand. I think they've got some wonderful people working there, doing some wonderful work, holding various funnels. And if you're able to tune in, definitely tune in and have your say or have a listen to what's being said. And so I would like to feel optimistic for New Zealand about what is happening. But at the same time, I would say we can't be complacent. We still need to have a certain element of caution. And we need to do that, as Pastor Mike was saying, not just, for our family, but our community.
Yes. Thank you so much, Adriel. Also, Pastor Mike, today for the encouragement that you've given and also the sound counsel and advice you've given for our church and also for our community. And once again, as Pacific leaders, we do want to congratulate our Pacifica community and also come alongside our Samoa Assembly of God and Mangere Church and all that have been involved with the outbreak there. We know you've done the right thing, and we just want to encourage everybody to do their best so that we can be the good neighbors that Jesus has called us to be. God bless you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.